Alright guys, welcome back to another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle video. Today I'm going to be doing a quick little tier list, just looking at the top LRs in the game, which coincidentally end up being the best units in the game. No real surprise there. I have to look back at it. I'm pretty sure there aren't any TURs in there. If there are, then I'll probably go back at the end of the video and add them in post, like towards the end of where they would be. But I'm pretty sure there aren't. Anyways, so just getting off into this, I'm gonna look at it as this will start at 10. First we'll have Gogeta. He's still stupidly good. Let's see if I can. Here he is. Drag him over here. As you know, he's stacking his defense before he transforms, and then you float him off as soon as you get him. Comes back, make him go blue. The target skill, oh there it goes. The target skill, and the best, probably the best thing in the game. Like not his specifically, but just the ability in general, because it is the entire rotation's safe no matter what happens. So that plus his already high dodge chance, and then he's got super counters, and it's just a really good unit overall. But the fact that he has the target skill kind of pushes him over the top for me, as far as edging out a couple other units. But let's see here, who's gonna be next? Probably Vegeta. So got Vegeta coming in here at 9. Should probably close out of these units after I try to get done with them. Vegeta's here. I mean, he's got his damage reduction, still really good. He's got his revive, which is super good. One of the best revives in the game. The only problem with his revive is I find on a lot of his teams, he's become a floater. Almost like a lot of the teams you want to run him on, he's not main rotation unit material anymore. That being said, that's not saying he's a bad unit. He's just not the unit. So with that being said, and him having to get hit, was it 5 times? Where is it? Yeah, 5 times for him to activate his revive or to get his revive. It's just not very conducive. That being said, he's still insanely good. So for me, that slides him in just at number 9. After Vegeta, we've got the new Broly. That is tragically this low on the list. I really wanted him to be better, but I don't believe he is. The biggest thing holding this guy back for me is gonna be his lack of additionals or crits or dodge in his passive. Like, he doesn't get any of that innately, which I think is garbage. Like, it's absolutely I don't know when the last unit that we got to release was that didn't have a built-in additional crit something. Like, just something. So I mean, that hurts him a lot. Plus, I would have also really liked to see his support be not so restricted. Like the additional, what is it? Here it is. He gets the no, that's not it. It's this. Here it is. He's giving uncontrollable power category allies attacking you at 60%. It's starting from the turn which he revives. So it only procs for this Broly. If I'm understanding it correctly. I might be wrong, but I don't believe that I am. It only procs for this Broly. So if you're running 2 of him, then only one Broly, the one that revives, is going to get this. The other one's not going to be able to do the support, which is stupid, but whatever. Hopefully, but even then, it's only uncontrollable power category allies, and it has to be after he revives. I think that's garbage. Like, don't get me wrong, the buff is really good, but it's so heavily restricted, and it's locked behind so many things. It's locked behind his domain, his revive, and then also a category. Like, it's not good enough. If he would have had like additional supers built in, like just one, like if he just had an additional super built in, I think that would bump him up significantly. But the fact that he doesn't, it doesn't get him up there. His domain is really good though, because you can use a turn 1 and all this other stuff. He's got a bunch of different little things that make him really, really good. Like his domain, and then he's also got the extra defensive buff and attack buff on his supers. But that doesn't put him high enough, or good enough to be pushed above the rest of the people. Sliding at 7, we're just going to have Tech UI Goku. So, my understanding of this unit is not very great. I'm going to be completely honest here. I don't have the unit, so I don't have the greatest understanding of using him and how he truly performs. That being said, he's high enough on this list for me simply because he's a UI Goku that dodges, and he has the domain that allows you to cancel dodge canceling effects like 17 and Golden Frieza, you know, Evolution Blue Vegeta, these stages where you can't dodge, and he's just like, yeah, no, you can dodge again. That alone is so insanely good. That, and he's also got the counters, which can hit pretty hard. So to me, that's all it takes for him to be up here, is mainly his domain, though, being so busted. I don't think there's much else to cover there. So after him, we're going to have AGL UI slide in, which, don't get me wrong, the tech one's great, but this guy is stupidly good. Stupidly good. He's guaranteed dodge turn 1. He's got a revive, which is relatively easy to activate. You just got to be below 77% HP. That's not hard to do at all. And yes, he gets caught in some stages where you can't dodge. However, he doesn't usually get you killed for that. I say usually. He can survive. He can make it in there as long as his team around him is good enough. But he can still hold his own there, along with his crits and his additionals and all the other stuff that are in there. Overall, he's all around a really good unit. He's going to have a super long lifespan. He already has, compared to where he's at with the rest of the anniversary units. But yeah, let's see. Who do we have next? So, Tech Broly sliding it. No, not 4, 5. Got Tech Broly sliding in, which his first turn, he's just untouchable. He just is. You can keep him as this Broly if you want to save the damage reduction for this guy, but I found that it doesn't matter. Just my using him. Keep in mind, this is at 55% that I'm using this Broly. That it doesn't matter if you have this extra 26%. You can just throw him in slot 1 and he's good. Like, this guy just goes in slot 1 and tanks it. Yeah, there are some stages where he can take a lot of damage. That being said, it's not enough that you're going to get one shot, and he's hitting hard enough afterwards that there's usually not much of a, what's it called? Much of a threat after that. He also has the nullify attacks. I thought it was on the super, I guess it's not, it's somewhere in the passive. Anyways, he nullifies an attack on 18 key. I believe it's if he has 24 key. Yeah, there it is at the bottom. With 24 key, he disables an attack action. So that's, I found to be really, really good and really useful as far as just protecting either him or other units. But yeah, I believe that he's firmly cemented in that number 5 spot. So after him, we're going to have Cell Max sliding up in here as the number 4 spot. There's not too much to say here. He's just good. He just is. Like, yeah, sadly he doesn't get defense on super. That being said, I found it doesn't matter that much. Like, 300% start a turn. He gets guard for his first 3 turns, just so you can help build up his attacks received that he needs. So you're getting 300% start a turn, another 100% attack and defense, so you're getting 400% in total. And then he also gets an additional that has a high chance to be a super. And he gets an additional 250% defense and reduces damage by 30% if all allies in the same turn are super bosses. Artificial life forms are the big one of movie bosses, which movie bosses is really good right now. So it just, yeah. This guy, he's insane. He's also got the insane, what's it called? Target mechanic. I can't remember what they're called. I said it earlier. It's in here. Is it in here? No, it's not in here. Anyways, to make all enemies target him. It's really simple. You get it, you know, either all allies, artificial life forms, are super bosses, or turn 6 with extreme class allies. But he doesn't take damage. 1000% defense plus what he has. He doesn't take damage. You pop that and you're safe. Gogeta, that you can be in one of those stages that disables dodge, and he can get hit pretty hard. Cellmax is he's tanking it. Like he's solidly in there at the 4th slot. Sliding in after Cellmax is gonna be Beast Gohan, who I know it's crazy to see one celebration he got bumped down to 3. Honestly, I kind of figured it'd be lower, but he didn't. They kept it pretty tame. But everybody knows about Beast Gohan. They just do. He's got damage reduction. He's got a target mechanic. He's got the attack null break. Yeah, that's with the attack break. But there's a Piccolo, which actually procs with the new support Piccolo that runs on movies, and it snowballs. But yeah, he's got insane defense. He's got damage reduction. He's got the target mechanic. He also has guard for those. No, not that. He keeps guard. It's the damage reduction that he loses some of his damage reduction after 5 turns. But by that point the fight's usually over, because that's turn 7 or 8 that you're rolling into, that you're losing your damage reduction. It's like the fight's usually over at that point. But I don't think there's much explaining needed there. And then we'll go ahead and throw. There's slot 2, the trio, and then obviously slot 1 goes to Big Man himself. Look at the trio here first. So they've got they're not getting defense on their 12 key, which that sucks, but whatever. On their 18 key, they're greatly raising attack and defense for 3 turns. So as long as you keep them getting their 18 key super, that's gonna stack. You're gonna get 1 from the last turn and then 1 from the current turn. And then with that plus the damage reduction that they have, they're gonna be insanely high defensively. Plus, knife cannon. This is their biggest factor, for me at least, is this little chunk of text right here. They giving damage reduction for 2 turns, and all allies defense plus 70%. Or 77%, sorry. So you run their team, and everybody consistently gets defense plus 77% from each leader. That's assuming there's a movie heroes or all that struggle category ally on the team or on the rotation with the unit. But yeah, they are pumping their team with support, and it's so insanely good. Yes, they have a standby, and it's really also really good. It's probably the second hardest. Yeah, it's second or third hardest hitting attack in the game, I want to say. I'm not 100% sure on that, but it's super easy to activate. You just get 77% or less HP or the 5th turn, and then you just charge it up with key spheres. When he's in that standby state, this Goku's not taking any damage. He just isn't. And then you're gonna pop the what's it called? The miraculous punch, and yeah, watch the enemy explode. So yeah. So moving on from them, they're pretty cemented in slot 2. We got this guy, which everybody knows. This guy's insane. He just is. He's the epitome of I'm gonna kill you before you can kill me, and there's nothing you can do about it. Like, he's getting greatly raising attack permanently. He's getting defensive raise for 1 turn. Greatly raising attack permanently on his 12 key if the defensive raises. He also gets an extra defensive. Yeah, that's on 18 key. Am I missing something? Never mind, no, I'm not. I got confused there for a second. I thought he had the mechanic Broly has as well, but he does not. So he's got 200% start a turn, plus an additional 200% attack and 150 defense with each up, with each attack performance stacks up. So then, once after you've seen this guy twice, you've got him fully built up usually. He's got additionals built in. He's got the attack. It's whole thing. He also supports, I believe, where is it at? Nope, he just guards. Never mind. He gets key +2, and then he guards all attacks if the Earthbred fighters or Kamehameha category allies are on the rotation. And then he has a high chance of dodge if you have 77% or less HP, which you rarely see. Then the thing that makes him, the really big thing about him is this standby. You stack this standby up, and you charge it for 5 turns. On that 5th turn, you activate this family Kamehameha, and it kills whatever you're attacking. Whatever you're attacking will die. And in this 5 turn, he's probably not really going to take damage because he's getting 50% defense per, or when he receives attack per key sphere obtained. As long as you don't put him in front of, the hardest hitting thing ever for that first hit that he has to take, he'll be fine. And even then, I found that even if he is in front of a really hard hitting attack like Goku and Frieza, he still lives. But yeah, I don't know. To me, he's pretty cemented in there for slot 1. Like there's not really a competition. He's also another thing I keep forgetting about is he raises Superclass Allies defense by 50% on his 18 key. So if you're running him in slot 1, the whole rotation is going to get 50% extra defense. If you're running him in slot 2, then him and the splitter unit will. But it's just a little bit of icing on the cake kind of thing. Looking at it, I would have to say if there's a gap anywhere, it's between these two. Because the support they're giving is so ridiculous, and then also the damage that he's doing is so ridiculous that there's a little bit of a gap between Beast Gohan and the trio. Everyone else is pretty, neck and neck. A lot of units I'm a little iffy on, standby wise, like Jiren for example. I think what bumps him out of this is he has to do a standby, which would clash with their standby if you want to use theirs, but mainly it clashes with Gohan's standby, and if I have to choose between using Gohan's standby and Jiren's standby, well, yeah, that's not gonna happen. Granted, they don't share, I don't know if they share any teams or many teams at all. Point being, it's this, there's so many standbys that it just doesn't. I want to say the only team that actually shares Ally of Justice, I want to say. But it just, I don't believe that his standby is that great of a option anymore. But if I had to keep going, I would probably say it goes something like this. I don't know about these last 6 units here. Really, I mean, that and these 3 are just kind of here. But yeah, Tech Broly, he's ridiculous. He hits stupidly hard, but that's what I think it is as far as the best LRs in the game, best units in the game. Pretty cut and dry. I don't believe, just quickly glancing through here, that anybody in this list, as far as a TUR, is going to be sliding anywhere near this. I apologize for that abrupt cut. I have some food going, and that was a timer for it going on. It was super loud, but cut it out. But anyways, as I was saying, I don't believe anybody as a TUR sense is getting to this tier of power. I don't think anyone as a TUR sense is getting to this tier of power, much less top 10. And I will also say, when it gets down to these last, these, I guess, 5, these 5, it's so close that you could just kind of juggle them around for me. and I'm not gonna argue. But yeah. That being said, this is my top units in the game, top LRs, however you want to look at it, either way. With that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Hope you all have a great day. You know, stay safe out there. And yeah, peace out.